Good morning, everyone. It's Cheryl, and it's another session of our shares. What I'm going to be talking about today is I've been asked about what are the strategy sessions that we have as part of your property VA. So one of the things that we that brings huge value to our clients is that not only do we have provide outsourcing solutions, we're very much dedicated to ensuring that we're actually helping our clients' businesses grow. And how we do that is that we have strategy sessions with our clients. So we get a lot of questions at the beginning. So, well, what is a strategy session and what does it involve? Effectively, the reason why we decided to have these strategy sessions was we realized that a lot of businesses, and when we deal with small businesses, you have lots of ideas. You've got lots of things to do. You've got lots of ideas, and so in terms of the lots of things to do, that's where our champions come in. They help take off a lot of that load. You can leverage your time and be more efficient with what it is that you do. And then it's the other side where I have so much to do and I want to do so many things. I want to go in different directions where we become a little bit lost and we're not quite sure which thing we need to start on first or which thing to complete. And then so you go through this process of continually saying or having a list of things that you need to do, but not completing them because you're like, all these 3-4 things that I put on my whiteboard are so important. I don't know what needs to be done. And that's the purpose of the strategy session. So I'll give you an example. We had a strategy session with a client, and he's a buyer's agent, and they're looking to create more leads. So as part of that session, we sat down and got him to do a little bit of homework beforehand to what we call complete our Find Your Niche worksheet. And finding your niche is one of the first things that you need to do as a business owner to really understand who it is that you're catering to. Who is your target market? So the Find Your Niche worksheet goes through identifying who your target market, your avatar is, your demographics, what age that they are they male or female, and they could be both, what sort of income they're receiving, what sort of profession that they might in, where do they live, what sort of lifestyle it drills into. But most importantly, part of the Find Your Niche exercise is understanding what is their pain. What are the challenges that they are experiencing that you can provide the solution for to what they're needing. So as part of that process, we were able to sit down with the client to work out, okay, this is your niche, and your ultimate buyer is someone who's wanting to purchase land, which is pretty much like sort of a knockdown, rebuild, and build their dream home. So I delved further into that, and through the questioning, we were able to find out that the way that the client's currently getting through to their ultimate buyer is actually through sales agents who are giving them referrals. So then the ultimate buyer sort of changed a little bit, because it's not that this isn't the ultimate buyer, but the way to the goal, for want of a better word, is through sort of a bit of a gatekeeper. And so where you want to then look at is, okay, well, then how do we present ourselves to make sure that we're nurturing this gatekeeper who then gives us access to our ultimate buyer? And the beauty about this sort of gatekeeper here, and we talk, and we've pretty much identified them as referral partners, is that they've warmed up your lead already for you. So there's no hard sell really, because they've said that, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, I know that you're looking for property, a piece of land that you might be able to do a knockdown rebuild. I may not have that product for you at the moment, but here, I have a buyer's agent who's really great at that, and this is what they're doing. I've worked with him before, him or her, and I'm quite happy to refer you to them. But you do want to motivate people. So, and we talked about referral programs before, I won't go into too much detail, and that's where you go, all right, well, then my strategy actually changes a little bit to not necessarily focus my full attention on marketing to the ultimate buyer directly, but you still have that, but also nurturing that warm market who is your gatekeeper. And so that was part of the strategy session there, that we were then able to identify, all right, what is the next thing that we need to do? And we made that a project. Another example of what a strategy session might include is to identify where the number of leads you need to be working towards. So your target each month. So each month, are you aware of your numbers? And when I say your numbers, it's your financial numbers. And financial numbers, do you know? G'day, Peter, how are you? Thanks for tuning in. Do you know what your break-even numbers are? When I say your break-even numbers, it's basically all your costs before you sort of earn any sort of profit. So why that's important? Because that's where it allows you to establish your first level of what we call the business hierarchy of needs. And the business hierarchy of needs, I'll go into more detail in another session, is pretty much a pyramid which works off that notion of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, where every business needs to establish their foundation, which is cash and sales, before they move up to profit and so on and so forth. So let's focus on that sales side of things and generating cash. You need to find out how much cash, how much income and revenue you need to bring into your business to be able to cover your costs to start off with before you move up to, and your costs will also include what you pay yourself as the business owner. So is that 2,000? Is that 3? Is that 5? Is that 10? Whatever that number is, we then have to look at your sales and the average cost of your sales that are allowing you, and your revenue that's allowing you to pay off all these costs. So if it's 5,000 a month, how many clients do you need to be able to cover that cost? Is it 2? Is it 5? Let's say, for example, it's 5 clients, 5 paying clients every month, and whether that's new clients or ongoing clients. So you've got to work that out. So you've got $5,000 that you've got to make sure that you clear every single month. Write that down and then work out what it is that you need to do in terms of your numbers and earn to be able to cover that. And if that's 5 clients, well, write that down, and that means that every single month you have to at least have those 5 clients earning you that amount, and it could be, let's just work out, it might be 20 grand. And let's say it's 5 clients, it's going to pay off, all right, so 5,000, that's right, we're using whole numbers. So we're ensuring that it's, how are you hitting those five client targets? Then you've got to work a little bit in a reverse order to say, all right, well, those are my winning clients. But to get to my winning clients, I would have had to have spoken to this many people, this many leads before I get to my final client. So you've got to do almost a little bit of reverse engineering. So if you know that this is to get 5 winning clients, generally, and say if you're doing quotes or whichever, it's a 50% conversion rate. So that means you have to be quoting at least 10 people. But to get to this point where you've done an initial sort of qualification and calls, you need, maybe that's another 50%. So out of that 10, you have to be talking to 20 people in that month. And again, that could be another level where you're going, all right, out of the 20 people, I actually had it's a 50% conversion to people who have seen and have touched base with me during the month and so on. So that's 20. So you have 40 people, 40 new leads. So that becomes your target as to what you have to work towards every single month to ensure with at least some level of certainty, because it's a numbers game, right? If you sort of know through the course of your business that you've got a certain level of conversions, and that's where we can say, well, that doesn't need to be fixed. However, it becomes a little bit of a guide where you sort of go, if I am speaking to 40 people, there's a good chance that by the end of the month, I will have 5 new clients, or at least five transactions that have gone through. So how do we work that out again? If that's 40 people that have come in contact into your, say you've got a CRM and you've got 40 new leads that come in, how are you then converting them to get into sales calls? And it might be, are you doing appointment setting? Are you getting we've got our virtual champions, so your VAs, to ring up and make appointments, or are you sending out through your email channel touch points to then get someone to come into and make an appointment with you for you to qualify them to ensure that you're the right fit. And maybe that's 20 people that you managed to get on the call. And then from there, say 50% of them qualify and they're the right fit. They go into the 10, and that's where you give your quote. And then out of that quote of 10 people, you then have 5 who are a success. And that's how you work out what you need to be able to do on a monthly basis to get you to where you want to be in that goal. So it's really important that you have this written down somewhere. So every single day, whenever you're looking at your in terms of your marketing, and that's part of the strategy session, is going, okay, we know that these are the numbers that we need to hit every month now. What do we need to do to increase our leads? So it's always about, if we're going to increase the amount of cash we need to increase our leads, because unless people know what we're doing and what we're providing to them, they're not going to buy because they can't see us. So then part of the strategies will be assessing what sort of lead generation you're doing. How is how's your social media sort of interaction? What is your marketing doing for you? So this then allows us to have a bit of a game plan and put projects in place for clients to get to where they need to go, with a bit of clarity and what's more important as well, a bit of accountability. Again, we find a lot as small businesses, we've got so much that we want to do. It is really good to have someone guide you along and make you accountable, to be able to say, this is your homework and this is our project that we're working on together. We will have it done by next week. And then you see progress happening each and every week and each and every month to hit those targets. So if you're interested to find out a little bit more about what these strategy sessions are, feel free to send me a PM or a comment below. I said we're always passionate about how we can help our businesses get to the next level. And it's not just a quick fix to say, here's an outsourcing resource for you, help yourself. It can't grow your business, needs that extra level of guidance there. And it may or may not need. If you're already doing it yourself and you know exactly where you're going, then that's fantastic. We want to be able to support you there. However, if you need that extra level of guidance, that's where the strategy sessions come in. And more than happy to have a chat to you to see whether we need to book you into one as well. If you're keen to find out a little bit more, comment below, and one of our team will get in contact and we can organize to have a chat and see what we can do to help you. Have a safe day. Thanks so much for your support too, Peter. Hope everyone is well. It's been the first week of kids going back to school, I have to say, but my son's got 2 days at home, so we're back to it. But I'm so glad that we're catching up with work, a little bit of work, and I can keep delivering value to everyone out there. Hi, Fred. Thanks for joining in. Again, any comments and your questions that you'd like me to answer next week, whether it's about business, whether it's about property, whether it's about mindset as well, I'm happy to be able to answer your questions and bring heaps of value to you. Have a great day and take care. Bye.